Now we have Caesars Sportsbook giving us some over-under NFL win totals, and CBS Sports is trying to give you some good bets here on what you should feel good about preseason over-unders for some of these teams. Now the Cowboys, they have sitting at 10.5 right now. That's the over-under win total for the Dallas Cowboys, 10.5 wins. Is anybody comfortable going over here? Because it's plus 110 on the odds. They're tied for 31st in terms of strength of schedule. So they're like they're like, hey, easy schedule. CBS Sports says go ahead and take that over at 10.5. Do you guys feel good about putting a little over there for the Cowboys?
Hell no way. You know, I have not been this confident in the under, I think, since 2014. Now in 2014 they won 12 games, something like that, and you know they looked really good. But no, I can't imagine they're not going to get the turnovers like last year. They haven't been able to identify a running game. I don't think they're going to play Pollard more. The offensive line is just getting older. No, I think maybe this team will trend back there in a couple of years from now. But no, I if I'm in Vegas right now, I'm probably not even betting it. But if someone made me bet it, I'm taking the under big, Brian.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the under too, and I think for a couple reasons. You know, you have to figure out about beating Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Rams, Cincinnati. You know, I think this division is actually going to be better, and maybe it's not going to be, 10-7 better overall. I just think that they're going to be more competitive teams.
Maybe not go undefeated.
Yeah,
in the division.
I don't think you're going to walk this division like you did last year. I think Philadelphia, we'll see. You still have the best quarterback, but Philadelphia, I think, is improved. I think the Giants, and I know they have a bad quarterback situation, but I think they're better coached. I think the Giants are kind of, with what they've added in the draft, they've done they've purged some guys that aren't very good, and added some good pieces along the way. It's some young players and stuff. This division will be more competitive, and I think it'll make it tougher on the Cowboys. But you're going to have to find a way to win one or two of those games against the Tampas, the Cincinnatis, the Green Bays, the Rams. I mean, you just can't get smoked in all those games, and think that, oh, well, okay, we'll just win all the division games and we'll be okay. So I think it's going to be a little bit tougher. I'm going to go on the under on that myself.
So are you guys thinking 10 wins? Like, do you feel good about 10? Or are you thinking under, like it's probably 8 or 9?
Yeah, I'd set the over-under at 8.5 if I was Vegas.
Would you?
Yeah. I think it could go bad.
It could. No, it definitely could. But
I mean, we're looking at last season through the lens of what did happen positively in the first 8 weeks. If you take that away, what you have is a long trend of them failing massively against good teams and struggling to win ugly football games against mediocre and some bad teams. Oh, and the Eagles, Washington.
So CBS has a couple of bets that they really like. So they like the Cowboys over 10.5, though it doesn't seem like you gentlemen like that one. You have the Saints. They like the Saints over 8 wins at the odds set at minus 130. So the Saints are a weird one, man. With Jameis coming off the injury, no more Sean Payton. Yeah. It's like you have respect for their roster in some ways, but it's like, man, in that division, Brady's back, but it's only 8 wins, and it still has them under 500. So CBS Sports likes the over 8 wins for the Saints, over 9.5 wins at minus 130 for the Ravens. And I think that's fair. I kind of like that one. Baltimore is just one of those teams, man. They were injury riddled last year, and so Lamar Jackson's 37-12 as a starter. Regular season, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens absolutely crush, and so I kind of like that over as well. Over 9.5 for the Ravens, over 8.5 wins for the Dolphins at minus 135, and under 6 wins for the Seahawks at minus 120. The Seahawks could be walking into a season where they end up being a top 3 or 4 worst team in the league.
Yeah, and I think it'd be good timing for that with a good quarterback class. Things might turn out pretty dang well for John Schneider.
Yeah.
It's exactly what they need, probably.
Yep.
And then the Eagles. A lot of people like the Eagles over 9 wins.
I think it's going to be between him and the Cowboys myself. I think that thing is going to go back and forth. Maybe 1-2 weeks you got the lead. Maybe they get the lead back. There's going to be the Cowboys too. They have some rough games. Mm-hmm. I mentioned those. I mean, I think about also they got to play Tennessee. Got to play. Got to play the Colts. Well, Matt Ryan, the Colts will be better. The Colts run the football too. And Matt Ryan and the way he kind of move it around. I don't know. I think they'll be better. There'll be some tough ones for the Cowboys.
This one's for Ari Temkin. I do feel like the Eagles have an identity. They have a game plan for how they want to win week in and week out.
They do.
And I think the Cowboys tried to move into being a pass-first team, and it kind of blew up in their face.
Yeah.
And, now they're kind of like, well, can we be balanced offense with good defense? Maybe, but you lost Randy Gregory.
Yeah.
And that was with one of the most healthy seasons, mind you. I'm not trying to hate on the Cowboys. Trust me, it hurts to say this stuff and be this down on them. I want to be excited, but I got to be realistic. And they were highly healthy and were falling apart as that season concluded.